Hello and welcome to The Amazing Race. My name is Jack.
And I am Cyndi.
And we are back for another season of The Amazing Race. It's been a while.
How long has it been, do you think?
It's been a while.
Okay.
Well, it's been at least 2 years, right?
Oh, yeah, it has to be at least 2 years.
Well, they started filming
in January, February of 2020, right?
Yeah, and then they stopped it because of COVID.
Right.
And we'll find out next week what happened.
So we haven't done it since 1999.
1999, yes.
2019.
Me and Prince, we all got together and decided to do a party like it's 1999. I love The Amazing Race.
I do too.
I'm glad it's back.
Me too. And of course, it went to my favorite place.
Yeah, they went to London. I thought I'd start off with, we'd go over, talk about some of the contestants, because they have, a lot of them have interesting stories to tell.
Yeah, I agree.
You have Akbar, I hope I'm saying that right, and Sherry Cook,
right,
husband and wife team. He's an administrator.
They're both, they're in high school, right? Something. They met
She's
in college.
She's a coach, right?
I don't know.
Oh, no, she's an administrator.
I thought they were teachers, then he became administrator.
Yeah. They met,
interesting story.
They met Oprah.
You met Oprah. Oprah gave him
$500,000.
Well, they do an amazing thing. He's trying to stop, gun violence and stuff like that.
And it's worked.
Right, and he's done things like After 6 where they can come in place to, because I think that's safe place. I think that's what a great idea.
Fantastic idea. And then we have Anthony and Spencer. Now, they are the ones that saved
on that Paris train in 2015.
From Amsterdam to Paris.
Yeah.
They stopped the terrorist
attack. Well, them, and then there's another guy. The other guy was in the service or something. He's running for office somewhere. I forget where he's at.
But he's not on the race, so we don't care.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. And you have Cara and Ray. I think I'm saying that right. Cara. I think it's Cara and Ray. They met on that Love Island.
Paradise or Love Island. Love Actually. We're really not doing very good. Are we remembering what they did?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. You have Connie and Sam.
Right.
They took in he's a high school football coach. They took in that kid who, and he's going to West Point.
I know.
West Point.
Another great story.
It's amazing. Kim and Pam.
Yes.
Kim and Penn.
Slow down, babe.
Kim and Penn. They were former news anchors, and now they're YouTube stars.
They're the ones during the pandemic. They were doing a lot of great songs, and I was showing you on my Facebook. I would show you stuff about them, and they're a lot of fun to watch. I don't watch their YouTube channel. I just kind of watch it when they do it on the Facebook. He's a great singer. He doesn't like what you used to do with songs, but he does a little bit better. Sorry, baby.
Oh, okay, that's okay. Well, he's making a lot of money.
Yeah, he is.
They're from Raleigh or Charlotte?
I don't know. They're from North Carolina, but I didn't know they were from Raleigh. I don't know. That's a great question.
Either way, we don't know them.
Yes.
You have Lulu and Lala. They are the twins.
Yes.
I
didn't for some reason, when I look at them, I don't see identical, but I guess maybe it's just
I could tell them apart.
Yeah, I did too. Exactly. I could tell them apart too.
And I usually struggle with that.
I know, but I thought, because we know some twins, and they were hard to tell apart, but these you could tell.
You have Michael and Mo. Oh. They were fun for one episode.
I know. Oh, poor guys.
They were police officers that had that viral video. Raquel and Kayla. I guess it's Kayla with a C. Because our daughter's named Kayla with a K.
Right. It could be.
They're flight attendants.
Yes.
They're traveling all over the world.
Yeah.
Ryan and Dusty.
Which ones were those?
Oh, Ryan's a guy.
Oh, he was in the jail, right? For 10 years?
He was wrongfully convicted of murder.
Yes.
From 19 to age 29, spent 10 years in prison.
I think I want to research him and learn some more about his life
because he's very positive.
I know.
I'm bitter as it is.
I know, and you haven't been to jail.
No, and he spent.
Because if I went to jail, I'd have to have a girlfriend.
Yeah,
I have to tell people that right now.
He spent 10 years in prison for something he didn't do.
Right.
And he has a pretty good attitude. So.
I always say, though, if I ended up in jail, I need a girlfriend to protect me because my mouth will get me in trouble.
And then you have Taylor and Isaiah. They met on Facebook.
What was the team that was daughter and father, which I did not...
Yeah.
Which ones were those?
Did I skip their names?
You must have skipped them.
I skipped... No, here. It's Arun and Natalie.
I thought they were husband and wife.
So did we. And Natalie, if you're listening, we're not saying you look old.
No.
Your dad looks young.
Yes. I was like, what? That's her father?
Arun. Is it Arun?
I'm really bad with names.
I'll get better with this. I watched their videos and I was trying to figure out their names. But anyway, that's the group. I like the group.
I agree.
It's
Do you have a favorite yet?
I gotta root for Ryan because he was in prison for 10 years.
Yeah, I guess I can see your point there. I think I like the flight attendants.
Yeah, they're pretty.
I like them. I don't know. They have a great attitude, so I kind of like them.
There's really no one I don't like yet.
Yeah, I agree with you. Because usually, remember when we watched before, right away there was a group of like, yeah.
But then here, we get to the start of the race,
right?
And they're doing the thing where they're.
It was a little different this time.
Yeah,
it didn't meet in Los Angeles where they're all lining up.
No,
and then they take off. This one
they all met,
and they left from where their destination was originally.
But my first thought, I go, okay, this isn't fair to the people on the West Coast because it's going to take them.
We know it's quicker to go to London on the East Coast,
right? So I can't imagine they went straight from.
You think it was different?
I think they probably met somewhere on the East Coast.
You guys spoil it for all of us.
I don't. I wish I would have done more research on it because it doesn't make sense. Because if you're traveling from the West Coast,
no, don't you think they all left from wherever their destination area where they were at? They all left, and then they probably had to meet somewhere at a certain time in London, and then they start.
Well, because but they show them landing in London and right away going for cabs. So I'm saying that
you're right.
It just doesn't seem fair for people because it's 5 more or 6 more hours of travel time.
Yeah,
and that's if you have a direct flight.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're traveling to London, which is cool.
Oh, my favorite place. I would go there. I would live there if I could afford it.
And they all get clean cabs because
the cabs in London. If you guys have never been,
and we've talked about this before.
Yes, they are amazing. There wasn't a single cab we went into that wasn't.
They're cleaner than my house.
Yeah,
and our house is fairly clean.
Yes. They're nice. They're very nice. That's the first thing I noticed when I got in the cab. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like spotless.
Well, they need to travel and get their next clue. There's people that are dressed in the red phone booths,
right?
And they still have phone booths in
London.
In London, and so, but there's limited clues.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Did you realize that at first?
I didn't realize it at first. No, because they get there and they go, I only have like 2 clues, so you have, which makes it tougher because everyone goes to the same person,
right?
But then they get their clues, and they need to go to Buckingham Palace.
Yes. Which, again, disappointed when I saw it. It looks bigger on TV than it does in person.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's still impressive. It's
okay.
It's a big palace.
It is a palace. You're right, but still.
Now the detours. This is important because if you pick the wrong one, you're going to be screwed, right?
Right.
You have street art, and then you have the one where you had to find Big Ben, Little Ben, and Diggy Ben.
Diggy Ben.
I think it's Diggy Ben. But the thing that cracked me up is you had to find a Bobby.
Yeah. But would you have known if Bobby was a police officer?
Yes. I said right away, I go, they're going to find a cop.
I didn't know that. I don't know why.
I've known since I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Where have I been then?
I don't know. You don't get out much.
Obviously. I didn't know if Bobby meant a police officer.
Yeah, obviously a lot of people didn't know.
Yeah, obviously.
I knew that. I knew that right away. So anyway,
sorry, Jack. I forgot how perfect you are.
Well, I'm not perfect. I just knew what a Bobby was, but we got Connie and Sam are dead last. The flight attendants don't know what a Bobby is.
That seems bizarre, doesn't it? They're traveling. They said they've been to London this is like they're there 5 or 6 times.
I guess if you don't know the term Bobby.
Okay.
And then we have our first stressful.
Yes.
Akbar is getting upset with Sherry,
his wife,
because she's not
He
moving.
was kind of mean, wasn't he?
And that was and Sherry in our Facebook page posted something. This is what you're afraid of, aren't you? I go, yes, I would look like him.
Yes.
Because come on, let's go, let's move, let's go.
No. I would not be like that. Mm-mm. You think I would be like that?
What?
Like stopping and not being able to breathe?
No, I'm just saying.
I'd be complaining that it's hot and my hair would have to go. You'd have to bring lots of rubber bands because you know how I am about my hair bugging me.
It's not a problem with me. I found it weird though. My first thought was like, all right, your first stop on the Amazing Race is in London, an English-speaking country.
Right.
So there's no language barrier.
Correct.
But they were struggling. Some people couldn't find Buckingham Palace. I go, why don't they just ask somebody? It's not like you're in India or Japan or somewhere where there's a language barrier,
right? Or
like Germany or something.
Right.
Going, okay, you're in London. My first thought would be, all right, I don't know where it's at. Let's ask somebody.
Right.
But they weren't asking anybody.
Yeah, that was weird.
So if you're struggling
in London,
you're
gonna have a difficult time when you go to those countries that don't speak the language.
Exactly.
Understood.
So I just noticed that. So,
Well, thank you, Jack. I'm glad you noticed it.
and at this time, we're going to take a commercial break. All right. After Little Ben. All right. Let's see.
Well, you lost your train of thought, didn't you? Your notes. You can't read your notes. We have the same problem we did years ago.
After Little Ben.
Yes.
I'm going to have to go back and edit this now.
Why?
After they get Little Ben, they do have the choice to either go on foot or to take a cab to Big Ben.
Right.
Right?
Right. No, not after Little Ben. They have to go. No, was it that way? I thought it was. I thought they have.
Oh no, they found Big Ben first, Little Ben second.
No, they had to go to where Big Ben was to find the Bobby, right? And then once they got the Bobby, they gave him his thing, and then they had to go to Little Ben where that lady was there with the next clue, and then from there they went down to the train station.
The Diggy Ben.
The Diggy Ben, yeah.
And that's where they could take a cab.
Right. So they could take a cab to find the Bobby, or was it to go to Little Ben? I thought they were walking to Little Ben, took a cab to the Bobby. Anyway.
Is that what? Either way, Akbar is still nagging Sherry. And
she kept resting.
Yeah,
she was tired. You know, if we went on it, I would want to we'd have to learn how to walk and do all kinds of things. Because you can't. There's no way. I could see.
I know how to walk.
I'm not walking. But look if you're not prepared, like we went to Disney World in first week of November, right? And we were supposed to walk to get ourselves in shape, which we did not. And we were exhausted the first day. We took naps. We came back to our hotel room to take with the kids so they could take naps. The grandparents took naps each time because we were exhausted. I can't imagine what she was feeling because it was exhausting to her. Plus, she couldn't breathe. She had to stop.
It's a long flight to London.
Exactly, and the time change. Anyway,
I do like that Connie and Sam walked right by the Bobby, going, "Bobby, Bobby, where are you, Bobby?"
You know, of course, when you're sitting and watching it, you can see things so much simpler than when you're in the situation, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah.
Now, which challenge after watching it? To me, you always do the physical challenge because.
Well, it depends. I think it depends on. The physical challenge was easier, but it depends how you feel at that moment, right? Too.
Well, the problem with any kind of art project or anything, you know, it's going to have to be precise.
Yeah.
You know, it's going to have to be okay. I got to get this perfect, and you know, it's like I said. Obviously,
you couldn't do it.
No, I don't have the patience for it. I'd rather just walk.
I'd probably tell us to the art because I don't want to have to walk everywhere. But you'd want to do the walking, so we'd already argue from the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. And once they get all their clues, they have to go see Boris Johnson
and Queen
and the Queen to get their next.
Yes,
clues.
whoever this fish and chip place. They have great fish and chip there.
I would think so.
Yes.
Kim doing the artwork. Kim and Penn.
Yes.
Are close to. They laid it out as a puzzle.
Right. They realized it's Amazing Race, and it can't just somebody just stack it up there. It's got to be something. And she realized it was a puzzle, which was very good about that. That was smart. That helped a lot there.
Yeah.
That was a little more time consuming though. That one. The second option.
Yeah. Because again, you never know.
True.
But I would always go with the physical challenge.
You would.
I just think that's the way.
After a while, I would tell you, "Can we please not do the physical?" Because I'd be tired.
Yeah. Michael and Mo aren't even close with their art project. I was like, what are they doing?
I know.
Take a look. I would have walked around.
I know.
I would have saw what other people.
Yeah, I was surprised. Again, that surprised me too that they didn't do that.
I don't know if you were not allowed to.
Oh.
I mean, it didn't seem like anybody was walking around to see.
Because you know, when in years past, when you watched it, you watched the guys like when they were putting like a truck together with design or that, they would look around and that surprised nobody.
What are we doing?
And they were close. In my watching the show, the way it was edited, it looked like they were very close to each other.
Right, and anyway. Let's see. The Natural History Museum is the pit stop.
Yes.
On this leg of the race, Kim and Penn finished the challenge. They were pretty. Well, they had to tighten it up a little bit.
Yes.
But they were pretty good.
Yeah.
Carl and Ray finished the challenge. Anthony and Spencer are team number 1.
Right.
They're the first team to arrive,
right.
And they went a trip for 2.
To
somewhere.
Turkus and Caicos or something like that.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Turk and Caicos. I don't know, whatever. Something like that.
Ryan and Dusty were team number 2.
Yes.
Raquel and Kayla were team number 3.
I think those are the top 3 teams.
Yeah. They're pretty good.
Yep.
Kim and Penn, 4th team.
Yep.
Caro and Ray, the fifth team.
Right.
Akbar and Sherry finished sixth after all that nagging.
Yeah, I know. That surprised you? They finished sixth? I thought they were going to be last place. Yeah. I really felt that way.
Because anytime you have... Because they were struggling to find things.
Yeah, oh my
Again,
gosh.
If you're struggling in English, why don't you just ask somebody, okay, we're looking for a Bobby.
Right. You
mean a cop?
Right. Someone did. Someone asked someone, but it wasn't the air...
It was the airline, the flight attendant.
Flight attendants, they asked.
Yeah. Let's see, we have... And it's a battle for last place going on. Connie and Sam, number 7, they finally found all their things.
Yes. Poor little fellas.
Taylor and Isaiah, 8th place. Aaron and Natalie, 9th place. Lulu and Lala, 10th place. Michael and Mo.
I know.
Have been
I always hate when they get eliminated first.
Because it's funny.
And you could tell when they were talking. I go, oh, they got eliminated.
Yeah, because
they were so sad when they
right,
were. Yeah, I was just like, oh.
I thought they were going to beat Lulu and Lala.
Did you?
Because they left the art thing, but they didn't get their clue with the they couldn't find their clue with Boris and
that's right.
And the Queen.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was an easy first leg of the race, I think.
I thought so.
I thought it was one of the easiest ones I've seen in a while for Amazing Race.
It's more of a okay, we're going to get your feet wet.
Right.
Because there wasn't a lot of...
It wasn't. I didn't think that there was a lot of difficulties with it. Obviously, we're watching it from our couch, but I thought I've seen where challenges are so much more difficult than that.
And you had a couple teams working together already.
Yeah, already. So
that helps.
But again, it was hard to see who was going to come out or not. And again, I was sad to see those guys because they're cops, and I feel bad. So.
Yeah, but you never like to see anybody go home the first one.
No, absolutely not.
But now, we didn't know it was going to be 2 hours.
And we didn't know because we were going to record right afterwards. Like, wait, it's still going. It can't be done. There's not enough time left. Remember, we were sitting there watching.
Exactly.
Anyway,
the race is now in London in the daytime, which is so nice.
Yes.
Anthony and Spencer are having a tough time getting a cab. They just kept driving by him.
And they said they were right for the hotel.
They said, let's go to a hotel, which you would think.
Yes.
But nope. No. And then the first challenge, the first roadblock is the mail rail.
That was interesting,
wasn't it? And I got to be honest with you. I knew nothing about this.
No, I didn't either.
The underground. And what I thought was amazing about the train, it was covered all around,
right?
I guess if something were to fall on,
maybe.
I don't know.
No, I don't know if I wasn't paying attention. Is it still going on?
I thought it was still going on.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that was still something that they did.
4 million pieces a day or something, or 6 million pieces a day.
That's a lot of mail. I didn't think people still mail that much.
I don't know. Well, junk mail. Oh. I'm sure they have junk mail in London. And what you have to do, take the train. You have a designated box,
right?
A basket,
right?
And you have to find a clue.
Right.
Okay, this is very important later on, but you have to find a clue.
You don't know what clue you're looking for, but it's a clue.
No.
That was pretty funny. Anyway,
so Penn and Ray find the clue.
Really fast.
In
I think he even said, this can't be it. This was too easy.
It's too easy.
Right, because it was really easy.
It was really...
Because it was I just moved the boxes out and then moved the mail around and it was sitting right there. Right?
Right. Because...
And he kept saying, this can't be, but he left. He was smart to leave.
And then because it took... Because Raquel nailed the roadblock.
Yes.
She got it in 10 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah. And who was the other guys there? I'm drawing a blank.
It was the husband and wife from North Carolina. And then the Love Actual new relationship people.
Yeah, Ray and Penn were the ones going back and forth with it. And they asked, it was Anthony.
Yes.
And he goes, he didn't want to tell him. He goes, well, this is
and they still didn't believe him.
And they said, oh, he's not playing.
He's not telling us the truth. He was kind of weird with the way he said it.
But after a half hour of him not coming back,
right?
Wouldn't you have said, okay, he hasn't come back yet.
Right.
He must have found the clue.
Right. They found it within what 20 seconds of being there.
Right.
And they kept doubting themselves.
Even if it's not. I mean, I'm sure the train ride wasn't that long.
True.
I'm sure it's probably like a 5-10 minute train ride at tops. I'm sure they.
You would think you would just go back.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's take a chance and see if this is it. If it's not, we'll just come because we're so far ahead of the other teams. Let's just come back.
Yes. And even he goes, they're not getting on the train.
Yeah. He's like, okay, that helps me.
He goes, and I showed him it. It said Amazing Race on it. Why would you? I don't know.
Because they said,
Again,
"Hey, do you want to talk to us?" And yeah, this is it. This is the clue.
Right.
But they didn't.
No.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And again, there's so many. I can see if you're in last place.
Right.
Maybe you're like going, okay, I got to make sure I have it.
Right.
But again, at this point, you're in like third or fourth place.
Exactly.
And you're going.
I don't understand the whole. What were they thinking? That just really surprised me.
Yeah. At one point, they're like, oh, maybe it's in these boxes.
Right. Maybe it's a stamp.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the person's names. Maybe let's check out everybody's name. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I was just like, it just wouldn't be that complicated. Yeah. Now the detour, you have two. It's darts, and the other one is decorating cakes.
Right. I would do the cake.
I would do the cakes because the dart one seemed pretty tough because you had to get each
had to get a bullseye.
Team member had to get a bullseye on the same round. So you get 3 darts each.
Right.
If you get a bullseye, then you
could have done it, I think, with no problem. Oh no, you're shaky now, so maybe not. But I would have. No, I couldn't. I hate to sell myself short, but I don't think I could have. I think I'd rather done the cake.
I would have done the cake.
The only thing with the cake though was I would know. I knew Britain wasn't in it anymore, but I don't know this country's flags very well. Like I think I know France, but that might be it. So that was where
I knew Germany. And
yeah, you would know Germany. It makes sense. But I that would be the difficult one there, because it was just like, because you had to, and it was very specific. They said in the Union. So. Right.
Then we have Carl and Ray, who are in a long distance relationship. They've been together for 7 months.
Yes.
He's in New Jersey. She's in L.A., I think.
Something like that. They're the ones that met on that TV show.
And he's obviously upset with himself.
Right.
And she's making it worse.
She just should let him just go.
Yeah.
She should just let him just be upset and let
when
it
she
go.
goes, next time it says Amazing Race, it's probably the clue.
But us women. We never let things go.
Well, she was right.
She was right.
He goes, well, we found like a half hour. He probably should have just kept quiet.
Yes.
Because right then he's like, anyway, I thought it was funny.
I can see you and I. You would be pissed at me if I kept bugging you.
So you gotta get 2 cakes. They're in the European Union. The dart challenge, like I said, is tough. I just Raquel and Kayla fell on their first attempt. They had Norway, I think. They had
no, they had Britain. I thought.
No, is it Britain? Yeah, they had Britain and France.
Yeah.
And Anthony and Spencer fell on their first attempt. Ryan and Dusty, they just They had to go on a double-decker bus, and I said, wait, do you have to drink the tea at the end?
Yeah, I know that would have.
We would have lost because I can't drink the tea.
I don't think they had to drink the tea.
No, they didn't have to.
Okay.
Tea. I would said if you have to drink the tea, I would have lost.
We all know Jack doesn't like the tea.
I don't like tea. Kim and Penn fell on their first attempt because they had did they have Norway? A lot of people had Norway.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And their berries, their berries.
I think you're right. A lot of people have Norway. Only one person had Britain, and then a couple had Norway. Yeah, I think you're right. It was Norway. Most of the ones that had to return them back and fix it.
Connor and Sam finished in second. Carl and Ray.
They didn't give anything though, but I realized later they were still.
We should have realized that one. They didn't get anything. Carl and Ray passing their first attempt.
Yes, that's pretty impressive.
So at least you didn't have to spell.
So again, if I still want to do Amazing Race with you, but again, 2 things we'd have to do. One is we would have to exercise and get into shape, and then we'd have to learn a lot of things. Like we would probably want to know our flags of the countries. We would probably want to learn like different little things, and I don't know. So.
And then Akbar and Sherry pass on their first attempt, so people are getting I think maybe they were probably the other teams came in and said, okay, those are the cakes we got to work on.
Oh.
I mean, I would think so.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. I'd go, all right, they're back on their second attempt, so they have to. Taylor and Isaiah pass on their first attempt. Ron and Natalie were number 3 because she got the bullseye first.
Yes.
It was smart. She goes, let me go first.
Right.
Because there's less darts up there.
Right.
Because that's the hardest thing.
Yes, you're right.
Because he was better at the darts.
Right.
She goes, no, give me the clear one, and she got it, and then he got it. Bam, bam. I like them too.
Yeah, I do too.
It's hard not to like them.
Yeah.
Raquel and Kayla, team number 4. The twins pass on their first attempt. Lulu and Lala. Kim and Penn are 5th team to arrive. Kara and Ray are 6. Anthony and Spencer number 7. They dropped a little bit this round. Akbal and Sherry are number 8. Taylor and Isaiah are number 9. The twins are the last team to arrive.
I know. I thought they were going to be eliminated.
You never know with Phil because he's a jokester.
Yeah. Well, and then the two of them are fighting over. I guess she must have had some kind of.
Well, one of them had. I said I could tell them apart, but one of them had a bad breakup.
Right.
And I guess he's
saying that she wouldn't be successful on Amazing Race.
She would be successful Amazing Race. I mean, what a jerk.
Exactly.
You know?
Hello.
And she's saying, okay, he wasn't good for you.
Right. She was trying to be a good sister. Yeah. But she just wanted to vent.
She just wanted to vent.
Yes.
And she was like, okay, look. Probably what it was is she's like, okay, I guess I'm speculating here. All right, I'm on this Amazing Race. I'm on this Amazing Race with you. I don't want to hear about him anymore.
Good point.
I probably had to listen to this about.
Yes.
But she didn't want to say it.
Right.
But I'm sure that's what it was. You
know
how you're with someone that breaks up, and then you're going to do something. It's like
sure.
There's still. It's like, okay, I don't want to talk about this person anymore. I don't care. But they had their little fight.
And then they got over it.
They got over it because the twins. But they find out they're still racing.
I know. I was
and
excited.
They're going
I was happy for them because I was like, I don't want to see them not on that note where they're fighting. Exactly. It's like, I don't want them to end like that thing. I do have to say that the team Mo and whatever when they left, they handled it. Yeah, they really handled it really well. I like the little song and
I think
again, I love when people show because I'm sure it's difficult being eliminated and then be on camera right away, and then you got to be a good sportsman.
Well, they probably give him some time.
You think so? I don't know.
They probably don't ask him right away.
I don't know, but I don't care if it's an hour later. It's still it's hard to, sometimes it's hard to.
Well, you got to suck it up.
Yeah, it's hard to suck it up, and it's hard to
especially
be above it.
Especially being the first team to lose.
I mean, anything in life, when you want something so bad, you don't get it. It's hard to not show your disappointment. And it's hard
because the thing with the Amazing Race is because you're traveling to different countries,
right?
It's not something everyone can do.
Correct.
It's like, okay, we want to travel.
Right.
Well, we traveled once, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, we kept teasing ourselves because we got lost all over Switzerland.
Yeah.
And we kept saying, Jack and Cyndi, you're the last team to arrive. You have been eliminated. Because I mean, it was difficult, and I can't even imagine what it would be like with the pressure of timing and everything and trying to get, because we didn't have to be at a certain point at a certain time, and we got lost 6-7 times at least
easily.
And of course we thought in Switzerland there would be only one language, and it wasn't. There's
I knew there was more than one language, but I thought English.
No, I meant Germany. There's German. There was different levels of German. It's not, they weren't all the same kind of language.
There's French. There's German.
No, but there was in German. There was 3 or 4 different dialects and just in German. So it was
tough.
Yes, so it was just anyway.
But now they're going to Scotland.
Yeah, no, that's going to be fun.
But
I'm curious to see what happens. That's when they see the previews where it says we have to stop because of COVID.
Right, they stopped.
So I'm still curious. So did you find anything out? Does anybody know? When they came back on again?
I'll do some research before.
Well, if you guys know, if any of our listeners know, when what happened,
just
maybe Sherry. Sherry always seems to know what's going on in the world. But I'm just put it on our Facebook post because I'm curious to know when they started up again.
Go to jayandjack.com, and there's on Facebook, jayandjack.com. Facebook, there's a thread on there. Sherry starts it. It's pretty. There's 4 or 5 people. We'll start reading comments from that.
I'm just kind of curious to see, where they ended, how many months they were down. That kind of thing. Maybe they'll talk about it next week when they show the
well, if you have spoiler alert, if you haven't seen the previews, Phil says, okay, we're going to stop right now because there's a pandemic and we're worried about your safety. Because they probably knew nothing about the pandemic.
No, probably not.
Well, a lot of us did. I was like, pandemic.
Well, we were still what you and I went. We talked about this all the time. We went to see what's his face, Sebastian, whatever, on March 8th.
Yeah.
And 10 days later, the whole country closed.
Right.
So I mean, it's just we didn't think anything. We thought it was gonna be the flu, and we're still wearing masks as of today. So I don't know.
So anyway, we'll see what happens next week. I wonder if they do go to Scotland.
Ah.
I thought. Well, where did
it first break out in China, right?
China, yeah.
And then did it go to London right away? I thought it was Italy more.
I don't remember.
Okay.
It's been
2 years, so
it's been so much different stuff going on. I can't keep track. But I was going to say is I thought it was more towards the end of the race that is when they shut down. I didn't know it was in the beginning,
right?
Because they still only had one team eliminated.
Because a lot of those countries, they were closed for months. They were closed longer than we were.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I mean, I don't know much about. I only remember the 3 or 4 big countries, London and then Italy, and a couple, and then obviously China, and then another one. I can't remember. Germany was it? Anyway, but where they closed, that was it. You couldn't go. So I'm just wondering if they were left in Scotland, and then were they able to come back to America and then go back out again?
I think they were still able to. If it was early on, they were still able to travel.
Okay.
Back to the United States.
Right. But a lot of countries were closed for months on. I mean, 3, 4, 5 months. I'm curious to see when they were. Did they start back up this year, in 2021? Was it like a 2-month thing? What was it?
Yeah. Well, we'll find out next week.
I hope they tell us all that. I mean, I'm curious to know all that. But again, when the music started, it's still my favorite show to watch.
It's edging closer for me. Survivor's always been my favorite, but it's edging closer to Survivor.
Survivor, I lost interest. I felt like Survivor. My reasoning for losing interest in Survivor was that I felt it was the same 5 or 6 scenarios of each person. There was the young, there was the older, there was the smarts, there was the knucklehead. It was. I just felt like their dynamic of their people was the same core groups, and I was tired of seeing that. I wanted to see, and I know they did different things, but still in those different things, they still had their. And I know it's when I think about it, and I'm saying it now out loud, it's probably because you want to have that mix to mingle through, because Survivor is a social game. Yeah. So that's why they want all that. But I was just tired of the same old man, old lady where no one understand them and the whole thing. So
this year's cast was different because it was more diverse.
Right.
And it had people from.
I watched a little bit when you were watching it.
But I got to tell you, Amazing Race is really. I think it's a fun game to watch.
Right, because we weren't going to podcast. I said, we are podcasting, Art.
I said, I
go, okay. Because you said, we are? I go, well, of course we are. We couldn't wait for it to come back. I know we lost, we don't do Dancing with the Stars. It's so hard. We don't have cable, so it's hard to really get things
not only
going.
that, but it's just with our grandkids.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just
difficult for that one, but this one's a little easier. Hopefully it's only going to be an hour that we can record right after it's done. It's not 2 hours.
So you can kind of remember what's going on.
Yeah, because we're old.
I'm trying to read my notes going, I don't know what I wrote.
But I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did. We're very excited.
And I'll get better with the names as it goes along.
Yes, we always do. You always do. And hopefully you'll be ready with your note writing so you can understand it better.
Exactly.
And then feedback. Tell us what you guys think. And, so.
Well, that's all we got for today. Subscribe, tell a friend, all that fun stuff. Well, I guess you don't have to subscribe. But
well, you can do what you want.
You can do what you want. Right. But that's all I got.
Thanks, you guys, for listening. Have a good night. See you next week.
Hasta luego. And goodbye.
Bye.